Hello. How are you today? I think Pastor Kevin is there. I'm just setting up my my stage for today so that you can see the Lindy Lou Adventure Series books. I believe that we are live, and I want to thank you all for coming to our show today. I am author Jeanne Bender, and it is very, very nice to meet all of you. I have written the Lindy Lou Adventure Series books. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in the Lindy Lou Adventure Series so far. So last week, if you look back at the streams, you'll learn all about book 1. Lindy Lou, our traveling puppy, flies high. She flies on an airplane for the very first time in the book Flying High. And today, I'm going to take you on an adventure into book 2, Up in Space, where Lindy Lou goes to her forever home. So come along for the journey with the Lindy Lou Adventures series. I would like to take a moment to tell you that our books are available all over the internet. You can search Lindy Lou, LINDIELOU, and you'll find our books. Or you can also search my name, Jeanne Bender. So Jeanne Bender, JEANNEBENDER, and you can find our books that way as well. So come along for the journey with the Lindy Lou books. We also have our books on in digital format. And so if you have a phone or you have an ebook, you can pull up the Lindy Lou Adventure Series books on your phone. So last week, I had the book with me, and I was showing you pictures and things from book 1, Flying High. Today, I'm traveling far away from home. I'm up in the mountains in Aspen, Colorado. And because I'm here with a very small suitcase, I decided to carry my books on my phone. So today, instead of showing you the book in the book format, I'm going to show you the book in the digital format. So here we are, Lindy Lou, Up in Space. Now, as you learned from last week, Lindy Lou has 2 brothers and 2 sisters. The sisters' names are Jasper and Diamond. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the sisters. The sisters' names are Ruby and Diamond, and the brothers' names are Jasper and Topaz. And if you remember from last week, Lindy Lou is the adventurous one, and Jasper and Topaz and Diamond and Ruby all have special personalities. Jasper is the playful one. He likes to play the sliding game. Topaz is the troublemaker. And as you read in book 1, you're going to find out, and actually another one of the books, you're going to find out that Topaz gets in a lot of trouble. Then we have Diamond, who is the shy one, and we have Ruby, who is the runt of the litter, which means she's the smallest of all the puppies, and she's also very curious and asks a lot of questions. And Lindy Lou loves to travel and learn life lessons in the world. So there's something in the books for everyone, whether you're a boy, a little girl, a mom, a grandma, whether you're reading these yourself or you're bringing them to your family, you can read them out loud. They're chapter books. So there are anywhere from 18 to 25 chapters in each one of the books. And there are almost 200 pages. Actually, the last two books have over 200 pages in them. So there's lots of adventures for you to read to your children and for them to read on their own. It's at a third grade reading level. So enjoy the Lindy Lou Adventure Series. And as we learned last week, Lindy Lou was born in St. Louis, Missouri, where she grew up in the puppy playground with her brothers and sisters. And after they were old enough to travel, Lindy Lou and her brothers and sisters went to their forever homes. Lindy Lou was the last one to go to her forever home, and she flew on an airplane to her new forever home. All she knows about it is that it's called the Emerald City. And while she's on this airplane, I didn't tell you last week, but she meets a very wise puppy by the name of Max. And Max is the one that she learns how to fly on an airplane and not be afraid. It's a very good book for people who are afraid of flying because it teaches you not to be afraid. And if you read the book, there's a little tip that he gives her that I use every time I fly, and it keeps me from being afraid of flying. So I think you're really going to love the Flying High book. And in book 2, Up in Space, Lindy Lou ends up in the Emerald City, where she goes up in space in the book. And I would just like you to know that she also finds out the name of the Emerald City, because in the book before, all she has is clues to the Emerald City. But before we go any further, since I've been talking about Lindy Lou's brothers and sisters, I'm going to show you a picture of them. So here they are. Here is Jasper, Topaz, Diamond, and Ruby, with Lindy Lou in the middle. So as you can see, she has 2 brothers and 2 sisters who are a lot of fun to play with in the Lindy Lou Adventure Series books. And thank you for Kate Willows, who is our illustrator, for doing such a wonderful job on these beautiful illustrations. Look at their faces. It's really special when you have an illustrator who can make such beautiful illustrations for your books. Also, in the beginning of each one of our books, we have what we call our character page. And in this book, you're going to find out that there are several characters that Lindy Lou is going to encounter in these books. As you can see, she's going to meet somebody named Kate, somebody named Brian. There's the wise dog named Max that she met on the airplane. He's also in this book, as well as Coco. You met Coco in the last book. That's her forever friend, a little stuffed animal monkey that she named Coco, that she promised to take care of for the rest of her life. You're also going to meet an interesting characters named Evie and Manny. That's a pink crab and a purple lobster. And you're also going to meet a very sweet lady named Delight and a very, very nice man named Harry. So these are some of the characters in the Lindy Lou Book 2, Up in Space. And as you can see in the table of contents, there are many chapters in this book. And if you look down here, you're going to find out that there are actually 18 chapters. And after the chapters, we have in the back of the book, the Lindy Lou song, some fun facts. We have a quick quiz. There's a Seattle calendar. Oh, I just told you where the Emerald City is. It's in Seattle. And there's also a poster in the back that you can look at Lindy Lou and her brothers and sisters, places to go with your pets in the Seattle area. And then there are some notes for teachers and librarians and parents to help them understand how to use our extra curriculum activities. Did you know that we offer for free on lindylou.com coloring book pages and quizzes and mazes and all kinds of, there's a game and all kinds of fun things on the lindylou.com kids tab for your children to enjoy. And as we go further and further into the Lindy Lou Adventure Series book, there you can see the chapter page. There's a page like this at the front of each chapter of the 18 chapters. There's Lindy Lou, and this must be Kate. And as you can see, she is going to go up in space. So as we go through the Lindy Lou Adventure Series chapters, you're going to realize that she's still on the airplane with Max in chapter 1, where they are flying into the airport. And as you can see, they are still in their pet carriers waiting to land in the Emerald City. And Lindy Lou is really excited because she's going to meet her forever mommy and daddy and go to her forever home. And she doesn't know where it is or what they look like or anything about them. So she's very, very excited to meet them and find out more about her new home. But if you can remember, in book 1, Lindy Lou was brought up before she traveled by Joe and Sherry. And as you can see in this illustration, Lindy Lou is still thinking about Joe and Sherry. And it says here that Lindy Lou missed Joe and Sherry, but she was excited about meeting her new family and seeing her new home. So she's very excited to come to her new home. And as you can see, we have a graphic designer named Susan Herring, who puts these wonderful fonts at the bottom of our pages. As you can see, that says new home in a very interesting dynamic font. So Lindy Lou enters the Emerald City, and I'm going to show you, this is really special too, because in the books, we have illustrations, but we also have all kinds of letters. These are in green for the Emerald City. And as it says, I thought we were in the Emerald City. Emeralds are green, says Lindy Lou. All I see is gray and white buildings. Even the sky is gray, said Lindy Lou. Just you wait. The Emerald City is green, all right, barked Max. So she's still trying to find her way around and trying to figure out where the Emerald City is. And this is a really cool illustration. I'm not going to take you through the whole book, but I'm going to show you parts of the book. And in this illustration, Lindy Lou and Max are actually on a tractor going from the airplane into the airport terminal where she's going to meet her new family. And as you can see, she's in her carrier with Max, and they are still waiting to come into the Emerald City. And I found this really great illustration, and it says that as they're coming into the Emerald City, above the door, there was a sign, and the sign says, "Welcome to Seattle." And on the bottom, it says, "Welcome to." So Lindy Lou is being welcomed to Seattle, the Emerald City. And as she goes along, there comes a time when Max is placed on the conveyor belt to go into another room to meet his parents. And Lindy Lou is still there on the ground. And so she says, "Wait a minute. Will I ever see you again?" Lindy Lou was sad to see Max go. "If you ever go to Pike Place Market, I'm usually somewhere near Rachel the pig." This is what Max is telling her. "Rachel the pig?" says Lindy Lou. "Yes, everyone knows who Rachel is." Max barked one last goodbye before he and his carrier disappeared around the corner. So if she ever wants to, oh, let me read a little bit further. Pike Place Market, thought Lindy Lou. I must remember these two things if I ever want to see Max again. The two things she has to remember is go to Pike's Place Market, and I'm usually somewhere near Rachel the pig. So hopefully she's going to find a way in this story to get to Pike Place Market. And finally, she gets a chance to meet her mom, who picks her up from the airport, and her name is Kate. So look at Lindy Lou and look at Kate. They're meeting each other for the very first time. And I think Kate Willows did an excellent job capturing this moment with these sweet faces of Lindy Lou and Kate. And I'm still in the beginning of let's see which chapter I'm on. I'm still in the beginning of chapter 2. So there's so much more to this book. So Lindy Lou says, I wonder which one of these people in this room are my owner. She thought as she looked at everyone's faces. A lady in a yellow shirt came out of the crowd and looked at the paper taped on the top of Lindy Lou's carrier. Lindy Lou looked up at her and wagged her tail. There she is in her yellow shirt. This must be my new mommy, she thought. She has a very friendly face. Hello there, Lindy Lou, said the lady. You are so cute. The lady took Lindy Lou out of her carrier and gave her a soft hug. Lindy Lou licked her nose, as you can see. You are even cuter than the picture Sherry sent, and you have such huge paws. Take a look at Lindy Lou's huge paws. You're going to learn a lot about them in the books to come. And they play an important role in some of her adventures. This is my new mommy, thought Lindy Lou. She is nice and friendly, and she smells good too. Lindy Lou relaxed in her arms. Her new mommy carried Lindy Lou out to a little green car. She opened the front door and put Lindy Lou in a doggy car seat. She tucked her blanket by her side period. The carrier went in the back. Lindy Lou looked to see if Coco was lying inside the carrier. He was. Do you remember Coco? Coco is Lindy Lou's friend that she met in book 1, and she brought him with her. So she looked to make sure Coco was still with her when she went into the car with Sherry, and sure enough, Coco was along with them. So they are now going on a ride through the countryside of Seattle by trees and grass. She gets a chance to see how green it is. And I want to show you this because this is really funny. There were actually green trees growing on top of the bridges. That's how green it is in Seattle. Oops, I moved the picture. There are green trees growing on top of the bridges. And this is true. If you go onto the freeways, you'll see green trees on top of the bridges. Kate was driving toward the Emerald City. Lindy Lou saw lots of yellow and orange trees. Now that's because this book takes place in the month of September. Every book takes place in a different month. The first book was the month of August, and this is the month of September. So not only is she seeing green, but she's also seeing yellow and orange trees. There are green trees too, lots of them. Even the bridges had trees growing on top of them. She also saw green grass, green vines, and green bushes peeking through the fall colors. Now I know why this is called the Emerald City, thought Lindy Lou. It is so green. Max was right. So this is the city of Seattle. And as you can see, there's a Space Needle monument right here. And that's where Lindy Lou is going to go up in space. But she doesn't know it yet because I'm only in chapter 2 of an 18-chapter book. And the next chapter is kind of special. I'm not going to share every chapter, but in chapter 3, Lindy Lou gets to see her new home for the very first time. And if you look over here, you'll see that there's a lake. So Lindy Lou is going to live on a lake. And it says, Lindy Lou saw a large white house. It had a wonderful vine over the front door and a long green yard on the side, on the left side. So see the vine growing over the door? Behind the house was a bright blue lake. I like it already, thought Lindy Lou. Kate opened the car door. She picked up Lindy Lou and her blanket in one hand and the carrier in the other. She walked up the sidewalk and set Lindy Lou down so she could open the front door. Brian was in the kitchen. So there's somebody else that she's going to meet. He came around the corner. There you are, Lindy Lou, he said. He bent down and scooped her up. So now she knows that she has a mommy and a daddy, two people who are going to take care of her. And as you can see, Susan Herring put in a very charming font. It looks like a scoop because it says the word scooped. And here is the very first image of Brian. So now she knows she has two owners. She has Lindy Lou and she has Kate and she has Brian. Isn't she precious, said Kate. She sure is, said Brian. I love her green eyes, and you're right about these paws. They're huge. So Brian put Lindy Lou down on the living room floor and she got to meet new friends. Remember when I told you that there was a pink lobster and a purple crab? Well, the pink lobster's name is Evie and the purple crab's name is Manny, and there's a yellow ball behind them. And these become some of Lindy Lou's other favorite play toys that she enjoys for the rest of her life. And so this story goes on and on and on. There are all kinds of amazing fonts, like this one that says zigzag. And see, it's all ziggy and zaggy. And here is one that says, she smelled cocoa. And just beautiful fonts. Here's a font that says too tall and another one that says scratched. And these go on and on and on through the book. And I would like to show you this illustration. We're running out of time, but there is little Coco sitting in Lindy Lou's new doggy bed with the pink lobster and the purple crab, Evie and Manny, and they are going to be with Lindy Lou throughout the book series. So now I am going to tell you one more thing, and then our time will be up. In chapter 5, it's as far as I'm going to go out of the 18 chapters, there are ducks. And there's a really fun scene when Lindy Lou gets to meet ducks on the lake for the first time. And they go swimming in the lake. And Lindy Lou can't reach them because she can't swim. So I bet you can guess what's going to happen in chapter 5. Lindy Lou is going to learn how to swim. So come along for the ride with Lindy Lou, Book 2, Up in Space, an adventure at the Space Needle. And next time, I'm going to take you on another journey. We're going to go to Harvest Time is the name of Book 3, a celebration on an organic farm, where you're going to learn how farm families feed the world. So come along and join us for our Lindy Lou Adventure series. And if you would like an autographed postcard from me, I am happy to send this to you. All you have to do is email me at jbenderbooks@gmail.com. That's jbenderbooks with an S at gmail.com. And if you ask me for an autographed postcard, I will certainly send one of these to you. And I want to thank you so much for coming along and sharing this time with me and the Lindy Lou Adventure Series books. Bye-bye, and I'll see you next week.